Hello, my name is Daniel Delpha, and I'm here to discuss the contents of my research paper. Well, to start, I'm arguing that humanity should pursue space exploration or space travel. And public interest surrounding space travel has declined immensely since the end of the space race. The space race was between the United States and the Soviet Union, particularly in the 1960s. It started when the Soviets launched the Sputnik satellite, which was the first satellite in space made by humans. And the United States responded by developing their own research in space and trying to get ahead of the Soviets in aerospace technology. And eventually they would come out on top in 1969 by landing a person on the moon, or landing two people on the moon. And after the space race, people really stopped caring about space exploration and just kind of moved on, focused on other things. And a factor in that is, well, since the space race was over, the government stopped funding space exploration. So innovation declined greatly because they had no reason to fund it anymore. They already won the geopolitical battle against their rival. And without funding, without interest, it's hard to get anywhere. So it's been a really gradual, very slow um, rate of research and development. Well, the advantage of space exploration or pursuing it is that a lot of technological innovations can come from it because space exploration is very challenging. So, in order to adapt to that challenge, humanity has to come up with new technology that allows us to overcome the challenges. And a lot of that technology can be used back on Earth to improve our quality of life. An example is the microwave that came about as a result of space exploration. And there's also the factor of we can colonize other planets or terrestrial bodies, which has the advantage of providing us with immense amounts of resources because the Earth is limited. We have a limited amount of resources on Earth, so we have to find it somewhere else. And colonizing other planets will also take a lot of technological innovation. The goal will, well, people wanting to achieve that goal will be incentivized to innovate, and that will have its benefits on humanity. And then space tourism, it was never really a big thing in the past, but it's starting to be with private companies such as SpaceX, who are dabbling a bit in this because as the space industry grows, space tourism will be a big industry because people will want to go into space and look down on the Earth or even go to other planets. A downside to space exploration is radiation, which is a omnipresent threat all throughout space. And it's a very difficult challenge to overcome. But research is being done, particularly by NASA. So radiation harms people and it harms spacecraft. Spacecraft can be shielded, but it can have long-term effects on people, which can be counteracted by a variety of techniques, such as vitamins or whatnot. Another factor that hurts space exploration is the lack of gravity. It's just another problem that humanity will have to adapt to. And we're so used to the same level of gravity because we live on Earth our whole lives. So it's a big problem when we go into space or on another planet and the gravity is wildly different. It has pretty bad effects on the human body. You start to lose your muscle because if the gravity is lower, your body it doesn't have to work as hard. You're lighter. So it just your muscle just wastes away. And the solution to that is exercise regimens, diet, and anything else. The last factor is isolation, or the confinement in spacecraft, which are typically pretty small. And combine that with the fact that you can be in space for years at a time without ever touching land. So the solution to that is training, psychological training to ensure that astronauts can handle it. So because of that, it's not so much a problem in the short term because the only people going to space right now are trained astronauts. But in the future, the average person will want to go into space and that will be a problem. But hopefully over time, more research will be done and a effective solution will be made that doesn't require intense amounts intense amounts of training. So overall, space travel can bring many benefits with it, and the downsides can be nullified completely just through innovation and research.